Good morning, everyone. Hope you're fine and hope you're safe. And hope our daddies and mummies are fine too. Today, we want to look at the topic connecting parts of the desktop computer. This is a week 7 topic for year 4. Now, before going through this lesson, it is advisable you would have understood your week 6 topic, which is computer cables. In that topic, in that lesson, we highlighted different computer cables and their connectors. So in today's lesson, we are going to see how those cables are going to be important to connect a desktop computer. Our learning targets for today are: we should be able to identify the parts of a desktop computer, define computer ports, mention the types of ports on a desktop computer, mention steps to set up a desktop computer. Now, what is a system unit? Now, before we go through that, you need to understand that in connecting a desktop computer, the system unit holds a vital part in connecting a desktop computer. The system unit is the most important part of the desktop computer. It houses the motherboard, which is known to be the life of the computer. All other parts of the computer are connected to the system unit through different connectors, and they are plugged to different ports. Now, if you look at the right hand side of your screen, you see a system unit that has been opened. Alright, this is open for you to understand that the system unit is not just sealed. There are different devices inside there that make up the system unit. Most importantly is the motherboard. The motherboard is seated right inside the system unit, and all these other devices are all connected to the motherboard. Even your peripheral devices like your mouse, your keyboard, your printer, they are all connected to the motherboard. The term mother means to take care of everybody in the family, isn't it? That's how the motherboard is. The motherboard takes care of all other devices. But if the motherboard goes bad, the entire computer goes down. Alright, so the system unit is essential, is the most important part of a desktop computer. Now let's look at ports. Computer ports. A computer port is an interface or a point of connection between the computer and its peripheral devices. What are these peripheral devices? Examples of these devices are the mouse, keyboards, flash drives, printer, display units like monitor, projector, speaker, and so many other peripheral devices you could remember. This is an example of different ports, so we're going to look at the types of ports shortly. The main function of a computer port is to act as a point of attachment. That means that's where all those devices has to be connected to a point of attachment, where the cable from the peripheral can be plugged in and allows data to flow from and to the device. So this port acts as a point attachment to other devices. So this is how you can connect your system unit to every other device that needs to be connected to the system unit. Now let's look at types of ports. We have the port called the PS2 ports. The full meaning is the Personal System 2 Series port. It's round, and this is an example of your PS2, right? So serial ports, we have different serial ports, all right, different kinds of serial ports, and they are all important to the computer. Now a typical example is this is a serial port, right? And that should be your typical VGA. We have so many other serial ports, but just to continue, all right, the parallel ports, example of the parallel ports is this. All right, this is a typical example of a parallel port. Can be used to also connect various aspects of your computer. This can also be called your DVI ports. So look at that. Audio port. Audio port is used to connect audio sound. An example is what we have here. All right, so audio ports. Okay, so the video port. Video port example is your VGA and your HDMI. If you go through our previous lesson, we showed you a cable called the HDMI cable and the VGA. They are plugged to the video ports. Okay, alright, the digital video interface, which you call the DVI. DVI also another important port. Okay, we would continue. So if you have your display ports, we have the USB ports. I showed you USB ports, USB cables in the previous lesson, but a USB cable has to be plugged to your USB port, and it's the most popularly used ports in the computer, right? This is your USB port, right? So USB port comes in type A and in type C. Then we have RJ45 ports. There are so many other ports, like so many, but we just need you to understand these basic ones as they are key and important to setting up your desktop computer. Steps to set up a desktop computer. Place the monitor and the system unit on a flat surface. That's your first step. Place them on the flat surface, not a surface that is hanging. Very flat surface. Okay, make sure the VGA connects the monitor to the system unit. If not, nothing is going to display on your screen. Even if the system unit is wonderful and is working well, you won't see anything on your screen. So make sure the VGA connects the monitor and the system unit. Thirdly, connect the mouse and the keyboard to the back of the system unit. It can also be connected to the front, but ideally it's supposed to be connected to the back, where less interaction, less contact with humans take place. Okay, then connect the printer using the USB connector if you have any printer. Okay, you can also connect it using a USB connector. Then the power cables for the monitor and system unit should be plugged to a UPS, the universal, the uninterruptible power supply. Sorry, uninterruptible power supply. So it is important to connect it to the UPS so that it can help you shut down properly when power is interrupted. Okay, so that is how to set up a desktop computer. Thank you very much. I expect that you remember that ports are vital to setting up a desktop computer, and it's also important to remember the steps to setting up a desktop computer. Kindly attempt your quiz immediately you are done with this clip. Thank you and have a nice day.